When harmlessness and kindness in thought and word are practiced and automatically become a part of the disciple's daily life expression, then glamour will end. Before we begin, let us align as soul and as a group and see our group approaching Master Dwal Kul's study. Breathe in effortlessly and easily. See our group moving through the field of lotus blossoms lining our path toward Master Dwal Kul's study. We pause at the ivory door, which opens as the Master greets us and invites us in for our contemplative approach to advancing as a discipleship group into the study and dissipation of glamour as individuals supported by this group. We stand around Master Dwal Kul and see 3 windows filled with light. We stand in silence as he turns and faces the east. Together, we enter into this point of light. We enter into a beam of directed, focused light, revealing a greater light and illumining the way to the center of the light, directing our way. Assume the attitude of the observer. Envision your etheric body, your aura, which includes your health aura. Envision your astral emotional aura, and finally, your mental aura, encapsulating your expressed etheric radiance and your place upon the path of evolution, your personality instrument. See the outline of these spheres, these auras, in a unity. Now, imagine the interconnections, the elemental and Davic streams flowing, relating, connecting these auras as a single unified field, and sound the words of Roberto Assagnoli. I have a body. I am not my body. I have emotions. I am not my emotions. I have a mind. I am not my mind. Now, lift the attention within these united spheres to the highest point, the deepest point of life within your being, the soul, and say, I am the soul. I am light divine. I am love. I am will. I am fixed design. With soul light radiating throughout your aura as the primary force, unite with the group soul. Assuming the attitude of the observer, using the sign of the cross of divinity, let us sound the protective formula. As a soul, we work in light. Touch the forehead. And darkness cannot touch us. Touch the center of the chest. We take our stand within the light, touching the left eye. We work, and from that point, we never move and touch the right eye. We strive. We aspire. We actuate the science of aspiration as disciples and initiates. And we surrender to the outcome. We cannot be attached to the outcome, for we know ourselves to be a part of the far greater whole. We use spiritual discernment, soul light, and seek to embody loving detachment as a quality of the soul, and stand together as the observer. Master Dwelkul tells us, knowledge itself is that which knows its own ends and works towards those ends through the process of experiment, expectation, experience, examination, and exaltation, which produces a final exit. Words such as these are synthetic symbols, conveying a cosmic story in terms of constructive brevity. Knowledge, love, and sacrifice are inextricably one in synthesis. On the causal level, exemplified through the vortices or petals of the egoic lotus, the soul vehicle. We gather today to consider in silence the glamour that we will focus on, the glamour of expectation, and how the false use of expectation, attachment to the outcome veiled in personal desire and selfish ends, impacts your life and relationships. Using formula for the dissipation of glamour for the individual. First, with the preparatory stages. Recognize the glamour to be dissipated. Embody your willingness to cooperate with the soul in physical, astral, and mental ways in order to aid in the more technical work. Ponder on the implications for you in your life. Recognize the ways in which this glamour of selfish expectation affects the daily life and all relationships. You might consider what additional glamours are fed by this glamour of selfish expectation. Disappointment, self-pity, arrogance, criticism, judgment, selfish pleasure expanding the astral not-self with pride in achievement. What other distortions come to mind? Align the personality. See the three aspects of the lower nature as constituting one functioning personality. Then complete the 3 stages of focusing of the light. Focus the light of the mind and the light of matter in the mental vehicle. This is done by a process of lifting up and of blending and fusing, employing and using the creative imagination. Meditate on soul light, bringing about the fusion of the light of matter, light in the atoms of the brain, the light of the mind, and the light of the soul upon the mental plane. Realize the 3 lights as one unified light, a searchlight, ready to be turned in the needed direction. Integrating soul and personality. See the personality and the soul as a unit. This is done through the dedication of the personality to the soul and its acceptance by the soul. These 2 lines of thinking, alignment of the 3 lower bodies as an integrated personality and soul personality integration, produce a field of magnetic thought and realization in which all the work is done. Pause to focus the spiritual will, holding the mind steady in the light. Pausing to brace oneself for the work to be done. Turning of the attention of the integrated soul personality to the astral plane and the particular glamour. The attention is not turned to the astral body in seeking to do the work. This is a statement of major importance because in destroying the peculiar type of glamour with which one is concerned, one begins to destroy their share in it, that in them which gives contact with the glamour, and at the same time prepares them for group service along the same line. By an act of the creative imagination, endeavor to see and hear the soul, the source of light and power in the 3 worlds. Breathe out the Om inaudibly into the mind of the attentive, waiting personality. fusing and blending the light of the soul with the dual light of the personality. There, the light and power of the soul is retained and held by the positive personality, for a negative attitude is not desirable. The retained light and power, combined with the dual light of the personality, focused as we know on the mental plane, is seen generating an intense light which can be visualized as a searchlight of great brilliance and strength. It must be seen as a sphere of vivid, brilliant light, but not yet radiating out or projecting outwards. When this act of visualization is deemed to be satisfactorily accomplished, pause then, for all the will one has to be focused behind the light, thus created by the fusion of the three lights. This refers to the stage spoken of by Patanjali as that of the mind held steady in the light. This use of the will, soul personality will, is dynamic, but at this stage, quiescent and not magnetic or radiatory. Next, follow a process wherein the glamour to be dissipated and the searchlight of the mind are brought into relationship by the power of thought. The glamour and its quality, and the searchlight and its power are recognized to be as they are, and the effect or effects to be brought about by that relationship are carefully thought out. This must not be done in such a way that the mind process, light, and power will strengthen the already powerful glamour. It must be done in such a way that at the close of the process, the glamour will be appreciably weakened and eventually dissipated. This is an important realization. Having, as far as possible, achieved the needed concentration, realization, and relationship, then, by an act of the will and of the creative imagination, turn on the searchlight and see a vivid beam of light stream forth and pierce the glamour. Visualize a broad, brilliant beam pouring forth from the illumined mind onto the astral plane. Believe that this is so. Then comes an important and difficult phase of the work in which the glamour is named and seen in process of dissipation. Aid the process by saying with tension and inaudibly, "The power of the light prevents the appearance of the glamour of selfish expectation." The power of the light negates the quality of the glamour of selfish expectation from affecting me. The power of the light destroys the life behind the glamour of selfish expectation. The saying of these 3 sentences constitutes an affirmation of power and of purpose, and must be enunciated at a point of tension, with the mind held in steadiness and with a positive orientation. Again, the sacred word is sounded with intent to produce an act of penetration. The light is then seen accomplishing 3 things: making a definite impact upon the glamour, penetrating the glamour and being absorbed by it, dissipating it slowly. As time elapses, the glamour will never again be so powerful and will eventually disappear altogether. We hold silence as the glamour is seen dissipating and the true being revealed. We begin a process of withdrawing where we consciously and deliberately withdraw the beam of light and reorient ourselves upon the mental plane. Silently sound, "So let it be," and help me to end all glamour and untruth. In closing our group service, in supporting of those endeavoring to dissipate individual glamours, we sound the mantra of light. Radiance, we are, and power. We stand forever with our hands stretched out, linking the heavens and the earth, the inner world of meaning and the subtle world of glamour. We reach into the light and bring it down to meet the need. We reach into the silent place and bring from thence the gift of understanding. Thus, with the light we work and turn the darkness into day.